Week 20 Day 1. La Cucaracha, the cockroach. The poor cockroach has been called the most reviled creature on the face of the earth. Nobody loves him, except, perhaps, another cockroach. Fiction, nonfiction, and poetry are replete with derogatory references to these ubiquitous bugs. Public health officials are quick to indict the insects as carriers of viruses that cause yellow fever and polio. Although past evidence has been somewhat nebulous, recent studies also show that an allergy to roaches may contribute significantly to asthma. Little wonder, therefore, that the pesky cockroach is under attack. Sample sentences. 1. Because the contract offer was a nebulous one, the union leaders balked at it. 2. Ezra Pound, the expatriate poet, was reviled for his pro-fascist remarks. 3. When the grand jury refused to indict him, the mobster was exonerated. 4. Every time his accountant called with pesky pecuniary problems, Ben was very blunt with him. 5. The columnist was ordered to recant her derogatory statements. Week 20 Day 2. Waiter, please take this bowl of soup back to the kitchen. In addition to menacing our health, cockroaches are smelly, filthy, and ugly. Upon entering a cellar that is redolent with their aroma, you are not likely to forget the odor. And when you spy the foul culprits creating havoc in your sugar bowl or in repose atop your chocolate cake, your disposition may be exacerbated. Roaches are omnivorous and will feast upon such disparate items as wallpaper, upholstery, nylon stockings, and beer. No one can accuse the hungry and thirsty bugs of being abstemious. Sample sentences. 1. While the palace guards were in repose, the rebels' coup began in earnest. 2. Coach Fisher issued a fiat that required that his players be abstemious. 3. The redolent scent that came from the bakery created in Eloise a sense of nostalgia for her grandmother's bread. 4. Omnivorous eaters find the dietary laws in some hotels to be too restrictive. 5. Regardless of how disparate their crimes were, all the prisoners were freed by the general amnesty. Week 20 Day 3. The roach lives on. Cockroaches are the oldest extant winged insects, having been traced back over 350 million years. They have endured the vicissitudes of weather, natural disasters, war, and planned liquidation. They reside comfortably in caves in South America, in transcontinental airplanes, on mountain tops, in Park Avenue edifices, and in television sets. The climate may be sultry or frigid, but roaches persevere. In the words of one writer, the miraculous survival of the roach is explained by its inherent adaptability. In fact, a trenchant analysis made the point that any forthcoming nuclear war will be won by roaches, not Russians, Chinese, or Americans. Sample sentences. 1. Hundreds of extant copies of Shakespeare's signature came from the same prolific forger. 2. The vicissitudes of life in the medical corps are not for the squeamish. 3. We originally planned on a skyscraper but had to settle for a truncated edifice. 4. When he learned that the movie was to be replete with sultry scenes, the cautious banker refused to underwrite its cost. 5. General Fox submitted a trenchant report on the enemy's latent strength. Week 20 Day 4. Tongue-in-cheek? The U.S. Public Health Service admits to frustration in its attempts to destroy the cockroach. As soon as the scientists devise a puissant chemical, some bugs succumb. But the hardy ones survive and breed a resistant strain. Since the average female produces close to 300 descendants, little hope is held out for a final solution to the roach problem. Nevertheless, extermination campaigns continue unabated. Surprisingly, some sentimental souls become maudlin as they consider the persecution of the insects. A writer noted for his levity made a lugubrious plea for a crash program of aid for the cockroach, calling him a victim of his slum environment. Sample sentences. 1. She advocated lugubrious music as appropriate background for the funeral scene. 2. Although the debater's rebuttal was puissant, it was totally irrelevant. 3. The plague continued unabated, and the hapless Friar John was unable to deliver the note to Romeo. 4. A good barometer of the reunion's success was the number of maudlin songs that the alumni sang. 5. Dean Flanagan admonished us for our levity at the graduation exercises.